want to be. I need to constantly remind myself over and over again, I am not yet where I want to be, but I know I'll get there. It's not enough to hope to win one day. You've got to expect to win today. When you set a goal, there needs to be a sense of urgency. See, we don't have the courage, and that's what it takes, courage. It takes guts to do that which you know you need to do. If you don't have the courage to act, life many times will move on you and make you act. Life will whoop your butt so bad. You will be so miserable. You will catch so much hell. You say, yes, I will do it. What do you want me to do? Take me. Let's go. Let's go. Good morning, family. Rise and shine. Another blessed and grateful day coming into the week. We are at Tuesday, March 7th. Fired up. A lot of abundance, a lot of blessings is coming in through the month of March Madness. So I'm excited. I'm ready for everything that is flowing to and through us. So let's going to be diving into it. Honestly, a really good one. Today we're going to be getting into, here we go, how to go ahead and build your resume in 2023, right? And I'm going to be talking about building a life rather than just going out and building a resume, right? So to go ahead and put this into a little bit perspective than normal. But before we go ahead and dive in, we've got a lot coming for this month. March Madness, we've got Rotterdam. So before we go ahead and get into today, let's get a little bit of gratitude, as always, to go ahead and start the day off right with the right vibration, in the right state, in the right frequency. So let me know, what is everybody grateful for coming into the day? And let me go ahead and get live on IG, and we are off to the races. Your life. Awesome. All right, family, let's go. Let's go. So grateful to be alive. I'm grateful for God. I'm grateful for all of the abundance that is coming to and through us. I'm grateful for the tribulations. I'm grateful for the sun, for the morning rituals, 11:11. I'm grateful for the month, because this is always a time of the year where so much is created. I know what we do today, what we do the next 90 days is setting up what is to come for December 31st. So I'm grateful for all of the work, all of the seeds that are being planted right here, right now, to get us in position to get around the right people, places, and opportunities to set up our success coming into the end of the year. So I love it. I love it. Continuous evolving of the consciousness. Yes, yes, yes. That is huge. Let's go. All right, family, you ready? So we're going to be talking about building a life and not just building a resume. You see, I want you guys to think about, how many of you guys, if you could tell me right now, what is the resume that you wrote for yourself? Do you guys know? Do you know what your own resume looks like, right? You got to think about it. When we go into a job and we hand them that little piece of paper, what are the attributes? What is the value that we bring to the table when we're going to go ahead and get a job? Let's go. Axel in the building, right? So for a lot of us, our whole life, we've been taught to go ahead and build a resume, right? But today I want to get you to think about it a little bit differently, right? I want to talk about building your life and not just the resume, because when you understand the resume that we're going to build here today, aka your brand, yourself, and you, this is one of the most important things that any of us can go ahead and take the time to really work on. You ready? So pay attention on my topic for today, because you guys are going to really like the value that you get out of this one. So give me 10 minutes, okay? I want to talk about, there's 4 types of people, okay? There's 4 types of people that exist, and when you pay attention, you're going to be able to make this make sense, and I'm going to teach you at the end of this training why it is essential for everybody on here to take the time to build your resume, aka your brand. You ready? So here's the 4 types of people. If you really catch this, you're going to think about life completely different. The first type of person is going to be known as what we like to call manipulator, okay? Manipulation. You see, anybody that's in manipulation, this could be any employee that you know, right? This is 65% of people for the most part, okay? An employee could be at Target, could be at Publix, it could be, construction, whatever normal 9 to 5 that you guys can think about. This is somebody that is inside of the manipulation segment, okay? This is the lowest level of the totem pole. Manipulators can make up to $50,000, $60,000 a year. Not bad. Nothing wrong with that at all. but I want to allow you guys to see why it is the 1% are at exactly where they're at, right? Because they understand this, okay? So the first level is manipulator. The second level is going to be known as coordinator, okay? The coordinator is a little bit higher up the ladder. A coordinator does exactly what it is that they sound like. They coordinate a group of individuals. So we can think of like a manager. We can think of somebody that's running a handful of people inside of their business. This is a coordinator, right? They're getting paid maybe $60,000 to $100,000 a year to be able to go ahead and coordinate people, right? If you think about a professor does the same thing. They're coordinating students, right? Same thing. They can get paid up to $60,000, $70,000 a year at a solid school. So that's number two. You guys catch this as I go through this? Pay attention to the last two, because this is where it really gets serious when it comes to building your brand and understanding what your resume really has the power to look like. Okay. Number three is going to be known as communicator. The third level is communicator. So if you think about athletes, if you think about actors, if you think about movie stars, if you think about motivational speakers, what are they doing? Essentially, they're communicating. They're communicating a message. They're communicating value. And if you look at actors, movie stars, right, they can get paid pretty well for a couple different movies, right? They can get paid into the millions of dollars, right? If you look at a couple different things, remember the name Jumanji, right? There's a lot of great movies out there, so they can make millions from movies communicating. Motivational speakers, right? There's speakers that get paid $10,000 to $15,000 an hour to speak. There's people that get paid $100,000 to go and do a TEDx talk, right? So that's a real thing. So speaking is very powerful. So it would serve all of us right to go ahead and learn how to speak. If we're being honest, speaking was one of my weak points when it came to speaking in front of a crowd. When it came to putting myself out there, when it came to making videos, making stories, family, that was not something that came natural to me. That was a skill set that took time to go ahead and beat on the crowd. Because you know what I realized? As I started to get around the industry, as I started to pay attention to top 1% earners, a lot of the time, the person at the room, they make the most money. The person that's holding the marker, they make the most money. So as I started to see that and pay attention, I said, you know what? I'm the type of person who was used to being at the back of the room, not taking notes, not reading, until I started to understand that one thing. It would serve me well to go ahead and really get out of my comfort zone, to strive to get out the front of the room, to start learning how to speak, to start learning how to get uncomfortable in front of people, to start learning how to go ahead and put myself out there a little bit more. And guess what? The results were absolutely insane, right? Being able to create a global business, 35 states, 10 different countries, by being able to communicate, being able to use our voice, by being able to put out our energy. This is why when you start using the laws of the universe, you'll start to realize that these are one of the most powerful free things that any of us can take advantage of. And guess what? We all have complete access to them. All of these, right? Faith, will, intention, reason, imagination, all of these higher faculties, we all have access to. So that's the power of communication. Now let's go ahead and get into the fourth level. You ready? The fourth level. This is my favorite. This is huge, 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 if you can catch this one. When I'm talking about building your brand in 2023, when I'm talking about building your resume in 2023, I'm talking about really number 3 and 4. Imagination. The fourth level, the fourth type of individual that exists, that's walking right here, right now, is in the fourth segment. That's going to be imagination. You see, imagination is very interesting. Imagination is somebody like Jeff Bezos, somebody like Elon Musk, somebody like Walt Disney. All of these companies, all of these brands that you guys can think of, we can name all 45 of these right now, right? Netflix, Uber, Twitter, Snapchat, okay? All of these are from the imagination segment. And if you think about it, at one point in time, none of these existed. Somebody had to take this thought, they had to take this in the spiritual world, pull it out into the physical, and make it a real thing. Amazon, Tesla, all these big, Apple, none of these existed before. It was a thought that came out of the ether, and they brought it into the physical world, and they created something. Victoria's Secret, right? All of these amazing brands that we see today started where? Inside of the mind. Fashion Nova. I don't know if you guys know this or not. Fashion Nova is literally nothing but a Shopify store that somebody created sitting right here in their house, in their living room, in their backyard, right? Google was created, Amazon was created inside of a garage with what? Imagination, being able to see something that nobody could see yet. Walt Disney, okay? Walt Disney had a best friend named Art, called his best friend, and his best lived like miles away from him. So when he told him about this idea, Art lived on this huge mountain range. And he called up Art and he said, Art, I've got this amazing idea. I really want to tell you what it is that I'm thinking about. You're my best friend. I want to give this idea to you first. So long story short, he drives to Art's house. Art had this huge, long driveway, and he had to walk 3 miles just to be able to get from the tip of his driveway pretty much to his house, right? So he finally drives over there, takes the walk, and he gets over to Art's house, and he goes in the backyard, and Art's on this huge, beautiful mountain range. And Walt's looking at Art. He's like, you see these mountains right here? I'm going to turn this into something that you've never been able to fathom. I'm talking about characters. I'm talking about rides. I'm talking about energy. I'm talking about being able to have a place where people can feel excited about. People can get on rides. People can experience these magical moments and memories. And Art's just looking at him like, Walt, you've gone off the deep end. You've completely lost it. Long story short, Walt went over there a couple of different times. And by the end of it, by the third time that he went over there, Art's like, you know what? Listen, Walt, this sounds really crazy. You sound like you need some help. Why don't you just go home and get some rest? Walt says, all right, Art, this is the last time I'm going to tell you. I tried to tell you my vision, but if it's not for you, it's not for you. And when Walt Disney walked back home and he walked down that 3-mile dirt road back to his car, you know what they said? They say that every step that Walt Disney walked was $1 million that Art lost out on because he couldn't see the vision. He couldn't see what Walt Disney could see. And you know what happens with most people? This is how most of the time how it works. If they can't see your vision, they must be out of focus. You see Mark Zuckerberg invited 12 people to his dorm room. 12 people to go ahead and introduce the idea of Facebook. Most people thought he was insane. Most people thought he was crazy. But you know what's funny? The 2 people that actually saw the idea, that saw the vision, that could see what most people couldn't see, those 2 individuals are now billionaires. If they would have stuck with Mark Zuckerberg. So it just goes to show how powerful it is to be able to understand a vision, to be able to understand the power of a brand. I'll give you guys one more, okay? For you ladies that are on the call, the biggest makeup brand used to be Maybelline, right? Now the biggest makeup brand is one person. It could be Kylie Jenner, okay? It could be one person, like one brand is afraid of people like you and I. Why? Because we have the ability to reach literally countless individuals by stepping into the highest version of ourselves, right? If you look at the golf tour, the PGA Tour has been going on for years. They actually just created a whole nother tour out in Dubai, and now they're paying some of the top players millions upon millions of dollars to go ahead and switch and come over to their platform. So how did that happen? It started in the mind, right? They created a brand. They created something out of the imagination. So my goal with everybody today is to allow you to think about the resume that we've been taught, the resume that we've been programmed to build going into a job. Oh, I have this much experience. I've done this, right? I have these qualifications. Well, let me tell you what the qualifications are to go ahead and really build a successful life outside of just school. You see, family, school is just a structured game. School is nothing but a program that we've all been built and designed into to get plugged into a job to make no more than, for most of us, $10, $15, $20 an hour. That's the resume that we are taught to go ahead and build. The resume that I'm talking about today is the type of resume that allows us to go ahead and live a life by design. Drop a 3 down below if you believe that you are not just built to exist, that we are here to go ahead and leave an impact. We're here to go ahead and live an abundant life. We're here to go ahead and squeeze out all of the juice that actually is right here in front of our faces. Well, this is the truth. I wholeheartedly believe this. For all of us to be able to take the time, and I want to give you a couple questions so you can build your brand today. So you can start taking the steps to literally build your brand. My first 3 questions for you, okay? Number 1 is, what are your standards? What are your core values? If you had to give me just in three bullet points, when I look at your brand, when I come to your page, what am I going to be able to see and what am I going to be able to remember you for? That's the first thing I want to ask you. Because if you don't know what you stand for, If we stand for nothing, we'll fall for anything. So I had to really take the time to identify what it is that we stand for. So when you start looking at your brand, who are you talking to, and what road are we allowing them to go ahead and step on? Who is the dot? Who is the dot market that are we talking to 9-to-5ers? Are we looking at those that are sick and tired of being sick and tired? And where are we taking them? What are we going to be able to give them? What value? Jim Rohn says it all the time. We get paid for the value we bring to the marketplace. So to build a better resume, to really build this brand, the number one word that it comes down to is right here. Value. What's the value that we're bringing to the marketplace? Now, I want to end this off with this. You ready? I want to give you guys 4 ways that you guys can start to go ahead and build your brand. You ready? Stay with me. Give me 5 minutes. I'm going to give you 4 ways because people ask me all the time. They're like, D, I have no idea what content to put out. I'm stuck. Let me go ahead and fix that for you today. You're not stuck. You're just at a point where you seem a little bit confused. So let me give you some ideas to go ahead and start building your brand and building your content. 4 ways that anybody that you look at, this is how they do it, okay? The first side is going to be spiritual. You can go ahead and build a brand by utilizing the spiritual side of success, talking about spiritual side. When you guys see it on social media, you're going to notice it now. You see some people talking about crystals. You see some people talking about the different 6 higher faculties of success like Bob Proctor, okay? So the first side is spiritual. The second side is going to be education, right? Education. You guys can go ahead and put out value. You can put out value about e-commerce. You can put out value about trading. You guys can put out value about learning a specific skill set, right? This is huge, okay? You've got to be able to be a person to figure out what segments am I going to utilize to brand my business and brand myself, okay? So number 1 is going to be spiritual. Number 2 is going to be education. Number 3, who can give me an idea of what number 3 is going to be? Entertainment. Entertain. Nobody wants to see somebody that just gets on every day and you just put up words. You put up a screenshot. People want to be entertained. People want to see what is that you're doing. Are you going to the gym? What are you reading? What are you studying? Because here's the truth of the matter, family. Most people that you look at, that you see on social media, they're not growing. They don't have goals. They don't have visions on most people's timeline. So guess what? You to be the one to do that, do you know how much you stick out? You stick out literally like a diamond in the rough just by documenting your journey. Okay, so we've got 3 sides so far. The spiritual side, the education, and the entertainment, right? People want to see that you're a real person. People want to see your energy. So don't be afraid to go ahead and show that every day, okay? Entertainment. And last but not least, you ready? Shows the goofy side. Facts. Who can tell me what the last side is? Lifestyle. Okay, this is the 4 ways that anybody can go ahead and brand their business and start to build your resume. You can build it by the spiritual side. You can use educate. I like to call it edutainment because we're educating and we're also giving entertainment at the same time. So you have spiritual side, education, entertainment, and last but not least, it's going to be the lifestyle. Let people see how early you wake up. Let people see that you're hitting the gym. Let people see that you have your alkaline water and your whole foods, right? Let people inside of your lifestyle. What books are you reading? Right? Where are you spending your time on a daily basis? Give people a sneak peek so they can see you. You see, your post is kind of like the highlights of your life. The stories is the day-to-day. So you guys can start to get an idea of how to go ahead and structure your content. Because I know right now, some of you are confused. You're like, D, I have no idea what to put out. I don't know how to really build my brand. Well, here's 4 ways you guys can go ahead and do it. And if you look at anybody that's successful, you're going to notice they all carry at least, most of the time, 2 of these attributes. Some of them that are really crushing it, like Alex Morton. You guys go ahead and look up Alex Morton Mindset, right? This is our EVP of the company. He's putting out the spiritual side, right? Bob Proctor, the laws of success. He's putting out his lifestyle. You can see him traveling literally every single day to different countries. He's putting out education. He's always giving value. Every single post that you see, there's not a post that does not give value. And he's entertaining, right? You're able to see his personality. You can see him smile. You can see that he's a genuine person. So family, that's my training for you guys today on how to go ahead and not just build a resume. I want to teach you how to go ahead and build your life. So if you guys got any value from that, go ahead and drop some 5s down below. Smash that like button. Let me know if you guys got any piece of that from today that you're ready to go out and implement and put into action. So anything you guys need, I'm here for you every step of the way. Wow, wow, wow. Powerful story, Z. Let's go. What a testimony. I love to hear that. 9 years sober and people think I'm on drugs or alcohol because I'm so full of energy. That's what it's about. If people see you dancing and they don't know why you're dancing, understand it's because they cannot hear your music. You know how many people have seen me dance for the past 5 years and they thought I was absolutely crazy? You know what the reason was? It's because I've been building this fourth pillar the whole time. I was building the imagination sector. Family, when we go in the imagination side, be ready to get haters, be ready to get talked about, be ready to have people not believe in you, because this is what happens when you go against the grain. When you do what most people are not willing to do, we're able to have a life that most can't have tomorrow, but it takes a price, right? With great price comes great responsibility. So to be able to have these prices that's coming into our lives, it's going to take a different level of responsibility, work ethic, passion, and discipline to go ahead and make these dreams come to reality. So family, with that being said, I love you. I'm proud of you. I appreciate you. And I'm so excited to see the growth that is to come into March, June, July, August, the whole rest of this year. So get ready, family. And if you guys haven't got your tickets already, March Madness, IAM.academy.com/events. You guys can go ahead and get locked in for your Orlando event. If you're out of the country, Rotterdam is available. But let's go out and dominate the rest of this week, family. It is your favorite entrepreneur, Define Dreams. Remember, you can be, do, and have anything that you can hold in your mind. You can hold it right here in your hand. I love you, family. Go out and have a great day. Let's get to it. Dream Team, you already know, it's game time. Let's get to work.